Okay, so for those of you who are kind of like me, who like to read a lot of books or into personal development, or you're trying to gain a skill, or just try and improve any area of your life, one important thing that I've kind of picked up on my journey is to understand that knowledge in and of itself is really not that powerful. Only when you've consistently applied it does it become powerful. So, one book I've read earlier this year was The Greatest You by Trent Shelton. I didn't actually read it, I actually listened to it through Audible. I learned quite a few things from that book, but if I'm going to be honest with you, I read it, I believe, like back in January. I can barely remember a sentence of it. I know I learned a lot from it. I mean, I put like clips in there. I saved certain passages, but honestly, it's been about 5 months since I last read it, and honestly, I can't remember a single lesson that he taught out of that book. The reason why I share that is because oftentimes I've found that even though I study a lot of personal development, there's certain areas of my life that didn't improve, or there's still areas I'm struggling in, or was struggling in. And one of the things I've come to understand and learn is it's very important that when you do learn something, that you find a way to either put into action or plan to put in action, or at the very least, make sure you write down at least 3 lessons that you get from a book, a video, podcast, or whatever it is, and come back to review it later. Oftentimes we consume so much information, whether it be like watching a very inspirational video, or something that gives us like a video that gives a lot of great ideas, or a book, or whatever the case is. Get very inspired about it, get very motivated, whatever the case. Then the next day, we either don't feel like doing anything about it, or it's just the moment has completely passed us, and then we get busy with life. And before we know it, we've lost the idea, we've lost the momentum, and then becomes just more knowledge that we've gained and we've lost. So one important thing I just want to encourage you to do is that, whenever you learn something, I would say like through a book, I would say always write down at least 3 lessons that you learned from the book and one thing that you could apply to your life. Same thing with a video. Try to find at least one lesson that you could say that you learned, and if it's applicable, try to do it as soon as you can, usually within the first day, or plan to use it the next day. This way you get in the habit of being able to review the material, or at the very least putting into action what it is that you learned. That way you're not just absorbing more material and more knowledge without actually doing anything. Because, as I said before, knowledge in and of itself is not powerful. It's only when it's actually used and applied, and you actually know how to apply it, that it actually is useful to you. With that being said, I encourage you guys to continue to grow, strive to be better, and to serve in the best way you can. And God bless.